Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the HTMi Research Centre TV. Today we're here to celebrate excellence of our students who have just graduated from Ulster University Bachelor of Science Honours degree in International Hospitality Management with first class honours. So today we have the Head of Research, Mr. Martin Jost, and we have two of our students, Lilly Szabo and Michelle Georgieva. Not here today, but also to celebrate a first class honours, Serena Aum and Ia Shirokova. Today we're going to talk about what it means to obtain a first class honours, and we're going to direct a few questions to our two students who are here today and ask them a little bit about their life at HTMi and how they've achieved their goal. So Lilly, tell us a little bit about your story at HTMi.
I actually started my studies here at HTMi in August 2013, and hopefully I'll graduate in December 2016. Throughout my entire journey here at HTMi, there was always a strong emphasis from my side as well as from the teacher's side onto being motivated and dedicated and handling time management well. What else did you feel, Michelle?
Hello. First of all, my story, I started in August 2013, and I also hopefully will graduate in December 2016. I've been here for 4 semesters, and now I'm doing my 5th one, which is MIT. I'm doing a research system. And I also did 2 internships. One of them was in Lucerne, in Renaissance, and then the other one was in Zurich, in Marriott, same as Lilly.
So let's go on. Maybe Martin, you've got some questions that you'd like to pose to our group here about what it means to achieve a first class honours and a holistic picture of this.
Yeah, I suppose first class honours is something that's not attainable in sort of the general sense that what is it? I took a pause and
Okay.
Ask a question again. Just ask a question.
yeah.
What question?
The one you-
Did you ask a question? No, should I know?
So Martin, from your perspective.
So from Martin, from your perspective as the Head of Research, what does it mean to achieve a first class honours and to actually reach that goal?
Well, first class honours is quite an outstanding award, and it's an outstanding achievement. And what makes this honours degree that we have here at HTMi special is that what underpins this degree is the focus that we actually have on hospitality and tourism research. So obtaining a first class honours also means that you really and truly understand the process of research. And I suppose knowing Lilly and knowing Michelle, from the past, what led them to the success was their sort of engagement with research, engagement with the sources that we have here on the HISP, with the journals we've made available in the virtual library. But not only that, it's also sort of the engagement that they had with the lecturers here. Now, being autonomous and being an independent learner is most certainly a characteristic that both Lilly and Michelle have. But also the ability to sort of think holistically about the research and not only understand the process, but thorough engagement with literature, thorough engagement with inquiries into the industry, and thorough engagement with the wide knowledge and experience that we have here in the faculty, and most certainly they took advantage of that. I don't know, as a research assistant, Michelle, maybe you'd like to sort of underpin or maybe say something about your sort of perspective on what I just said in terms of how you managed to get an excellent award for your research. I mean, what were the sort of things that you did to get that award?
Lilly already mentioned a few, which is the engagement with teachers and the way we talk with them and what we talk with them. And then there is another thing, which is you need to choose a proper, let's say, study buddy who actually matches you and you study together very well. Another thing is yes, maybe as a research assistant now I can see that there might be many other ways in order to improve what I did even in BSc, which is now I learn even better how to do research, where to look at things, and especially the virtual library and the online resources which we have from the school. And yeah, I think that's it. Most of it, it's always about communication and talking to people, not only your friends, but as well the study buddy, as I mentioned already, and teachers. What about you, Lily?
As I mentioned earlier, I think motivation is very important, as well as being dedicated and being very well self-disciplined. So even on days when one feels like they don't want to get out of bed or even open a textbook, it's very important to always kind of keep your goals in front of you. And this comes with a lot of time management. So Michelle and I both used weekly deadlines as well as daily deadlines for us to be able to split up what it is that needs to be done on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to ensure that we reach the goals that we've aspired.
Excellent. So just briefly, what was your research topic?
My research topic was about the co-optation of a wine region in Hungary. Co-optation is actually competitors that are cooperating together, and the viability of this rejuvenating this wine region.
Excellent. But I'm sure you didn't think about this topic in week one of the BSc. When
No.
did you actually start this topic, Lily?
I had started this topic in my higher diploma course. Actually, it was a brainstorming session with Mr. Jost that I had wanted to do wine regions and look into the development of them within Hungary. And this is where he had given me the idea of this term co-optation. And then after HD, I had found it so fascinating and interesting that I decided to take it further. Naturally, it needed to be broadened, given more quality, vocabulary changed, adding more theories, models, concepts. And through that, it then became the research paper.
Excellent. And what about you, Michelle? What was your topic about?
My topic is about transformative learning and how international students change when maybe they come here, as an example. I also started this topic in HD, just a little bit, and then in BSc I decided that this is what interests me and this is what I want to continue doing. And yes, I think I did well. Again, a lot of communication and talking, changing many things. Almost everything was changing on a weekly basis.
Yes.
Had to be deleted or paraphrased or change. But at the end, the result was great.
Excellent, excellent. But I think both of you are in a similar situation where this topic has been something that you've been taking through your studies. So it started well before the BSc. Martin, maybe you want to talk about where research actually begins at HTMi.
Yeah, that's right. Because the honour, like I said previously, the honours degree is actually underpinned by research. I mean, what we do here is we sort of embed the research right from undergraduate right through to postgraduate degrees. So that means a student who's new to the school, who's entering a certificate, would start with sort of fundamentals of research, and we would develop that research through diploma, high diploma, and up to the degree level. And I think what's coming through this conversation from Lilly and Michelle is also one can see sort of the advantage in starting with a research area very early. And we've, you know, if you look at the results historically, you know, those folks that do well within their research are the ones that start early. And there's a couple of folks who will actually start with a certificate and carry that all the way through right to degree level. That's the most ideal situation, but due to the sort of volatility of the hospitality industry, you know, we do accept that starting a research project in high diploma is good practice. So yeah, we see the results here today.
Excellent. And what do you think the influence is with this relationship that we have with Ulster in terms of the research?
Well, I think, you know, Ulster's, you know, the feedback we get from Ulster universities, that they are always amazed, especially when they come to our research conference, they're always amazed by the spectrum of research that is possible within the hospitality and tourism industry. And most certainly feedback shows that they are very, very impressed with the quality of the research and the performance of the students. So you know, our relationship with Ulster University and with their students that do research there is very close and very, very good. And we make sure that the research is kept at a very, very high professional level.
Right.
So, yeah, that's really good.
Right. And I understand also that their students publish in our publication as well.
That's right. That's right. So Ulster University students will publish their research in our online journals, but again, like Michelle and Lilly, they will be also publishing on our journals that we have, postgraduate journals.
Excellent. And so we'll be looking forward to seeing Lilly and Michelle's research on our journal shortly.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
As well as our two other first-class honours students, Ia and Serena.
Yep.
Excellent.
Absolutely. So, ladies, congratulations. You've now got an honours degree. Charles, maybe you wouldn't mind just telling us a little bit about what an honours degree is, firstly, and maybe secondly, just sort of elaborate on the process of accreditation and possibly other bodies that we're accredited with on the degree.
Yeah, thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
I think an honours degree, as we know, in the UK they have the ordinary degree and an honours degree, and what sets an honours degree apart is, of course, the research base, which underpins our program. So, you know, at HTMi, we always have these three pillars of learning. We have this professional, we have a management pillar, and we have a very key research pillar. And that's also links to our entrepreneurial aspects at the school. So an honours degree means that the students have achieved a research under university guidelines. That means they've gone out, they've found a topic, they've researched a topic, they've gathered the literature and are able to write approximately 8,000 words on that topic in a clear, concise way according to the university standards, which sets them apart again when they also go out into industry, when they go on to further study, because an honours degree opens up the door for the masters and then the masters onto the doctoral degree. This is what an ordinary degree can't do for students. On your second question was about accreditations. Obviously, the bachelor degree is validated and awarded by Ulster University, one of the largest business schools in the UK, or one of the larger ones. And they have very rigorous standards which we have to abide by, as you know, every semester. But that's not the only organisation that we are obviously controlled by. Our institution, for example, we have two accreditations. The Swiss accreditation for our institution as a higher education delivery is from Eduqua. And of course we have European accreditation for our institution with the British Accreditation Council. Not many people realise that, but the British Accreditation Council is part of what we call ENQA, the European Association for Quality Assurance, and that is one of the members is the British Accreditation Council. So that means we are, from a European point of view, we are recognised as a deliverer of higher education. And then of course we've got our programs, our Year 1 certificate, the Year 2 diploma, the Year 3 high diploma bachelor degree. They're all accredited with the Institute of Hospitality. And in fact we are the only hotel school in Switzerland to have Institute of Hospitality accreditation. So we have institutional accreditation across Europe in terms of institution, and we have program accreditation by the Institute of Hospitality. So we are regularly monitored and checked for our standards to ensure that the quality is there. And the examples here with Michelle and Lilly are examples of what students can achieve at the top end. And the quality is there because also the university, as you know, moderates the work, and they also tick that box and say, yes, that is the quality we are after. That is a first-class honours student.
Okay. So in a sense, it's essentially a quality framework.
Absolutely.
Which sort of puts credentials onto the sort of degree that they have.
That's correct.
And naturally, with these, ensuring quality means high standards. I know myself, as you said.
Exactly.
The standards are always sort of checked, and there's a lot of boxes to tick. But how, from a practical point of view, how did you guys actually fit sort of into that framework? I mean, what was it that you did that allowed you within that framework to perform so well?
That's a good question, Martin. And they're thinking about that answer.
So, how did you know you were sort of doing well? How did you know that you were sort of performing up to standard? And that's feedback, lectures, tutorials.
I I believe that a big part of it was actually, which the school constantly encouraged us to go and talk to the lecturers, to ask for feedback on how far we've gotten within our presentations, our research papers. So here at HTMi, not only do we have a personal tutor, but we also have a research tutor. So in this sense, the students are able to talk and really open up to the teachers with any questions they have regarding academics or anything regarding even to the school, but again, as well for your personal life. Besides that, some of the teachers did do tutorials, some did workshops, and there was a constant, naturally this is dependent upon the student, but if they keep going for feedback, they keep getting and finding out how it is that they're doing so far. Again, this leads back to what Mr. Jost had mentioned earlier, that the students do need to feel that they are supported by the lecturers, which they are very much if they're open to going and actually discussing the learning materials with the teachers. Anything else you want to mention?
I'm just gonna add that it is, going and asking for feedback and always checking stuff. But there is another thing that you just need to read enough, so you can compare, you can understand, and then afterwards you can go and ask for feedback. So it's not only about depending on what teachers say, but as well on yourself and reading.
So just to summarise, just to finish off, congratulations again on achieving your first class honours.
Thank you
It
very
just
much.
wasn't about the research, but you did well across the board in all your subjects, as also the two girls that couldn't be here today, Serena and Ia. And just to reiterate, I think there are a couple of top things that came out of here is the number one is self-drive, I think you mentioned. But the second one is that motivation to do well, that desire to get up in the morning and say, I am there, I'm going to do well. But thirdly, I think you mentioned also to have a good study buddy, also helps because that's an internal support. The other one was to go to seek out your teachers, seek out your lecturers for advice and guidance.
And time management.
And number 5, vitally, time management. Thank you.
Start early.
Start early.
Yes.
Well done. Okay. Thank you, ladies, for coming to HTMi Research Centre TV. This was our first broadcast of many that we'll be doing. Thank you, and well done.
Congratulations.
Thank you very
Congratulations.
much.
Thank you.
you.